Young and the Restless casting shocker. Allison Lanier out, no summer recast. Young and the Restless casting news delivers a shocker that Allison Lanier is exiting the role of Summer Newman this week. We'll dive into why Allison Lanier is out at YandR and the impact Summer's departure has on several major characters. Why Allison Lanier is leaving YandR as Summer Newman. All right, so the shocking news just broke that Summer's time in Genoa City wraps up this week. It's sudden, it's out of the blue, and it coincides with bad news for her business line. If you remember, Allison Lanier took over from Hunter King a few years ago on Young and the Restless. And in fact, Allison debuted in the role of Summer in May of 2022. Based on the timing, it looks like her exit in May 2025 signals the end of a 3-year contract for Allison Lanier. Judging by the timing, it could be that YandR decided not to renew her contract for storyline reasons. I mean, Summer's not getting anywhere with Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer. And they've slid Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd, onto the back burner. There's not much action for Summer. Allison Lanier wrapped her filming a month ago. So her last air date is this Friday, May 2nd. And so far, there does not seem to be a recast lined up. And maybe this is budget related. Could be that Young and Restless didn't renew her contract because they needed that money to cover Billy Flynn's salary. You know, soaps run on a very tight budget. And when they bring in a big name, sometimes they're forced to scrimp and save in other areas. So, Summer's leaving at the end of this week. Summer Newman's business faces crisis on Young and the Restless. Official Young and the Restless spoilers confirm a professional crisis for Summer. Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, tells Summer she wants to leave. She's got an offer from Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. And Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, is there for the conversation. She remarks that it's on brand for Adam to hire the woman he's dating. But Chelsea's going to play nice and sidestep the snark. She says she was hoping Sally would replace her as lead designer at Marchetti. And just as Summer is processing that professional punch in the gut, Sally admits she is also considering a job offer. She was thinking of stepping away from Marchetti and letting Chelsea take over for her. So this is not good news for Summer. It's double bad news from Sally and Chelsea. So we'll know more tomorrow, but I suspect Summer may leave for Italy for business reasons. You know, go take Marchetti back to its roots. How Summer Newman exit impacts key YandR characters. Just as Allison Lanier's exit stuns fans, Summer's exit is going to affect several people. There could be some shock waves. And of course, this is fabulous news for Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, because Summer can't stand her. And Claire knows it. She can feel the tension every time Summer is around. Claire also suspects that Summer wants Kyle back, and she's right. Plus, Claire and Kyle are moving in together. And Claire was dreading Summer's reaction to the news. So, this would be a nice little break for Kyle and Claire. Summer's been trying to break them up and rain on their parade. They'll still have Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, trying to split them up. And it doesn't look like he'll stop anytime soon. Plus, there's a chance he may try and blame Summer leaving town on Kyle for not reuniting with her, stuff like that. Victor may also try and blame Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, because he hired Sally away from Marchetti. Both things caused a work crisis that pushed Summer out of town. At least Claire and Kyle are getting a break from Summer and her snarky attitude. Also, this affects Kyle and Summer's son, Harrison Locke Redding Munsell. Unless Summer tries to take him with her. And I don't see Kyle allowing it. He just wouldn't go for it. So in that way, Summer's exit also opens it up for Claire to step in as Harrison's new mommy figure. Daniel Romalotti hurt by Summer's exit on Young and Restless. Next, there's Summer's brother, Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziadei. And of course, his sister Summer leaving would hit Daniel hard. He's still grappling with grief over Heather Stevens, Vale Bloom. And of course, Summer going would affect her niece, Daniel's daughter, Lucy Romalotti, Lily Brooks O'Brien. But we haven't seen her in a hot minute, so that's not as big a deal. Hopefully, Daniel won't be so upset that it derails his healing process that he's engaged in. And as far as Chance goes, you know, they've already wrapped that up, and he and Summer got their closure. Plus, Chance is barely on anyway since they pushed Connor Floyd back to recurring. So obviously Summer's dad, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, is going to be bummed too. He will not want to see Supergirl leave town. Phyllis Summers spirals after daughter leaves Genoa City on YandR. The biggest fallout, I suspect, will be with Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. She's already teetering on a ledge and falling apart at the seams. Since she and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, were abducted, things got bad. Phyllis is suffering from trauma and PTSD. And she was hanging on to Daniel, and the job at Jabot for dear life. And with Billy firing Phyllis, she feels like she's got nothing and no purpose. So losing Summer will obviously salt those open wounds. Of course, Phyllis still has Daniel. Her exit, I think, will absolutely destroy Phyllis long-term. Predicting Summer Newman low-key exit and fallout on YandR. One quick note on all this. I do not expect to see these reactions right away. We will know more about the terms of Summer's exit by the end of this week. But unless YandR is driving her off a cliff with Phyllis in a Thelma and Louise moment, it'll be a low-key exit rather than big drama. I don't see them out of the blue shooting her, putting her in a coma, stuff like that. I do suspect Summer may head to Italy for work. She can regroup after losing Chelsea, and also probably Sally. And Summer might even say that it's only short-term until she gets things sorted out at Marchetti. And then she just never returns because Allison Lanier is gone. Actress reveals Young and the Restless exit. By the way, it wasn't YandR that let us know she was done. It was the actress. Because CBS generally just slides people around without explaining themselves. They do it on Bold, they do it on YandR. They just don't acknowledge exits. A lot of times you do find out from the actors. So, I think Summer is probably going to get the same kind of exit that they've done before. When they just slid somebody out and not really talk about it.